Good to get back in the winner's circle, obviously, after the weekend, but wasn't a thing of beauty out there. But we'll take the win and move on. I don't really have much else to say, so go ahead and ask Nate.
Nate, you had the big hit tonight. Can you just take us through the approach there with the bases loaded and what you ended up getting there on that 2-run single?
Yeah, I mean, I saw infield was in, and I was just trying to get it past the infield. You know, it wasn't really an ideal pitch or an ideal swing, but, you know, I think I put enough of a good swing on it to help my team, you know, get some runs on the board there and, you know, win the game ultimately.
So among the players, you guys had a tough weekend. It's kind of a crappy weather night. You got basketball going on down the street. But how'd you guys in the locker room kind of get yourselves together and focused on this particular game?
We just knew that, you know, whatever happened this weekend is behind us. You know, Coach says, you know, we play one game series, so the most important game is the next game. So all of our focus was on this game, and we knew, you know, we have the talent to win, you know, if we play well enough. And honestly, I don't think we played too well today, and the fact that we were still able to pull out a pretty decent win against a good Davidson team was a positive for sure.
Actually, I do have a couple things to say. Number one, anytime you have a comeback, come from behind win, it's a good one. You know, those are things that build confidence in your team. And secondly, it was great to see Henry Casmore swing the bat well. I'm surprised you didn't ask to have him up here in this post-game press conference. He hit the big home run, of course, to get us on the board, and then had another really good hit. Now we got to get his defense back together. He had a couple of rough plays out there in the field, but it was good. Honestly, I'm not that worried about his defense. I just was happy to see him swing the bat with some aggressiveness. He got 2 hits, 2 walks, so he's on base 4 times. And then the other thing was I thought our freshman catcher, Gavin Braylon, really played a really solid game. He had the one pass ball on a big breaking ball. It was a little bit of a freaky thing. You know, he thought he had it, caught it, and it kind of squished between his legs there. But outside of that, I thought he played a really good ball game, handled the pitching staff well, got a big hit for us, got a big bunt down that kind of turned around the game. So I was just really proud of Gavin in his first start. And our pitching, I think, was really good again. 2-hitter.
You mentioned the defense there. That's 5 games in a row now with at least 1 error. Is there anything you're seeing different there, or is it just part of a baseball season you have these stretches?
Yeah, well, the first ball that Kazmar missed, the double play ball, was really hit hard and just kind of caught him in between. The second one, you know, that's a play I've watched him make 1,000 times. I haven't really talked to him about it yet or looked at the video of what happened, but he just didn't make the play. Who was the third error on? That's right. Yeah. That was a pretty routine play too. So I don't know. We work hard on defense every day. I just think some days, you know, guys don't make the plays, and it's part of the game. But you know, we need to play better defense than that. You know, there's no question about it. So that was the only discouraging thing for the night for me. We didn't hit the ball a ton, but I thought we pitched it great. But our defense was a little bit subpar, although Ethan Petrie made a nice play there to end the game, running catch. Outside of that, I remember Scobie had a smash that he handled really well. I thought Bo Hollins played a good game over there at first base, solid. You know, I think he had a pick on 1 ball. It was nice to see Bo, you know, get a base hit as well. We had the kitty core out there tonight, four freshmen in the starting lineup. It was too bad we didn't make that double play ball for Guarino, and then he gave up the 3-run homer right after that. But outside of that, I thought he threw the ball well. He threw a lot of strikes. Susie came in and did a pretty good job, and Pitzer, of course, was awesome to get out of that inning. Then, you know, Brandon Stone's just been a godsend for us in this early part of the season. He dominated the 2 innings that he was out there, and it was good to get Caleb Jones out there for the first time.
Coach, anytime you play in a big rivalry series like South Carolina and Clemson, it can take a lot out of the players in terms of physically, but also mentally. Did you feel any kind of residual effects from that Clemson series to start the game?
Well, it's a really good question, but I don't think so. Really, You know, for people like the media, fans, and coaches, you know, we really get into it. You know, I mean, it's my livelihood. But those 18 to 22-year-olds, fortunately, they have very short memories. You know, they move past things pretty quickly. Sometimes you wish that it bothered them a little bit more. But the truth of the matter is, after doing this for 40 years, I'd rather them have a short memory and be able to move on, because it doesn't do any good to pout and feel sorry for yourselves when you don't get the job done. And the next game's important. The worst thing that can happen when you have disappointments is that it carries into more games down the road. But I felt that our players were real enthusiastic today. You know, we talked a lot about it with them after the game on Sunday. And basically the message was, look, you can't go back and turn back the clock. It's over. You know, we didn't get the job done. The games were all hard-fought games. They were very close games right until the into the 8th and 9th innings. We didn't do what it took to win the games, and the other team did. And we have to be men about it and accept that fact and now move on. And that's the only attitude that you can take, because there's a lot of games left in the season. So you can't sit around and pout about the things you didn't get done.
Jackson got pulled on a 1-1 count there. Is he good to go, or is there just something else you wanted to get Pitzer right there in the middle of that at bat?
Yeah, once that runner moved into scoring position, I needed to have a better matchup, and Pitzer's breaking ball and velocity against that pretty good right-handed hitter was what we needed to do there. And Pitzer rose to the occasion and did a great job and struck the guy out.
So you'll be turning the corner here pretty soon towards your SEC schedule. You still have some more non-league games to go, but what do you want to try and do with the rest of this non-league schedule before you get into the SEC grind to kind of get your team ready for what's ahead of it?
Yeah, well, the big thing is I wish we could get a little bit more healthy. You know, we were without a third of our starting lineup tonight, besides Kennedy and Talmadge. Yet Dalton Mayshore is having trouble with a leg. It's more like a hip, actually. So he actually had an MRI tonight during the game. He wasn't even here. So I haven't talked to the trainer yet to get any kind of report on him, but he's been struggling with it the whole season. And, hopefully Kennedy will be ready to go by this weekend. Talmadge is hoping that his thumb quiets down a little bit. You know, we know it's a fracture, but it just was angry, after that tag play on Saturday, so it's all swollen, and hopefully it'll be ready to go. I don't know what the situation is with Dalton, so we got to try some different things. I thought Hollins showed well, but obviously if you have to play a freshman, more than one freshman in a starting lineup in an SEC series right out of the gate, that's going to be a big ask. But we'll just kind of keep reevaluating everything and put the best team out there that we can.
Starting pitcher for tomorrow night, you know yet?
Yeah, Jarvis Evans. Okay, thank you guys. Thanks, everybody.